What is up, everybody? How are you guys doing today? Man, happy Thursday. We're almost there, man. The week is almost over. Um, there we go. I was waiting for the count to go up. It was at 0. And I was like, am I not live? It says I'm live, man. What's going on? Let's see. Welcome to another episode of the Black Line Brief. I am your host, Matthew McKim. Welcome to the show. Let's see. I got to hit skip on this so that I can see, make sure everything's streaming good. And I know my mods will text me soon and let me know the audio video looks good. All right. As we get in and get settled, you guys and girls, please do me a favor, ladies and gentlemen. Please hit the like and the subscribe. It's the best way to help support the channel. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. I need to put the chat up on the screen. There you go. I like doing that too. So you guys, like, your handles, your names, your comments show on the video. I know some people don't do that, but I like doing it. It's cool. Let's see. What a day today, huh? What a day. What the heck is that? Ignore. All right. Well, I hope you guys are having a good week. And I hope you guys have been paying attention to what's going on. The start was delayed for me. It was hard to cut open. Okay. Oh, everything's good. All right. I was confused for a second by that. Hopefully you guys have been paying attention to everything that's been going on this week. There's been a couple developments, right? I mean, I guess the main thing was the Victor Marx interview with Candace Owens and her questioning him on him sending out that text before anyone else knew. Well, anyone publicly knew. The people that did know were those at the hospital. So like Mikey McCoy, Frank Turek, Dan Flood, Rick Cutler, Brian Harpole, who else on the security team that was in the car, and anyone else that drove there. Well, no, Mikey was still at the scene 15 minutes after. So, yeah, because it was about 15 to 30 minutes. Well, no, it was 15 minutes after was the post. I have questions on things, and maybe you guys, maybe we can start a discussion on this. I'd really love to hear your guys' thoughts. So with Candace Owens and Baron Coleman, the last I remember about like Erika's whereabouts was when Baron, and I think Candace too, did a couple on it. I think they like tag teamed the timeline, their narrative, TPUSA, Erika Kirk, Andrew Colbett's narrative, and that the flights were all called into question. The timeline of when they all said they found out where they were, when they found out who they were on the phone with, when they flew out of where, who was where. Andrew Colbett wasn't really in Santa Barbara. He might have been actually already in Arizona because there was like a rerouting flight earlier, and he's the one that possibly flew on the plane that supposedly was the one Erika was on, but Erika was most likely on the ground already at the FBO in Orem or in Provo. And that's how she was able to be on the tarmac waiting for Andrew. So yeah, because it's like, I have questions because if Erika was there, right, and if she was in the plane and was tapped in, was watching a live stream, or if people at TPUSA knew she was already there, or at least maybe some of the security team knew, or Frank or Dan and Brian, or maybe Terrell Farnsworth knew that she was there. Maybe a limited amount of people knew that she was there. But that means that she could have even found out directly herself, right? She could have, right? The transponder was turned on in that plane, that, charter private jet that was on the grounds. At least that's what I remember from Baron's investigation and episodes. If you guys remember something differently, please throw a chat in and let me know. But that means like she could have found out from either watching it, right? Or was, on some sort of phone or satellite phone or communication line with someone there on the grounds. If she's at the FBO in Provo, that she probably would have found out like right away. And not and wouldn't have found out while she was flying from Arizona, because the last I remember, they've not provided an actual solid alibi that she was actually in Arizona when she found out, right? She like collapsed, right? Everything was called into question, like where she was. Was she with her mom? She wasn't with her mom. She was at this building and someone saw her, but nobody saw her, and found out that he was shot, and then got on a plane like right away and was en route, flying supposedly. And then while she was flying, she was supposedly notified and was like the first to be notified. So, I mean, there's so many questions I have regarding this. But when talking about Victor Marx and his story, right, he said, and it's changed and it's kind of just weird as well, right? Like, kind of like Terrell Farnsworth, like he saw the video. Well, Terrell, even less, like, Terrell wasn't like he didn't see the video and he didn't see the front of Charlie. He was from behind to the left a little. And he like bolted. So like he wouldn't even have seen how bad the wound was. He was like gone before Charlie hit the ground. So, but supposedly Victor says that he saw the video. He only watched it once. He only needed to watch it once. And he knew. And the guys on his team members, we're cool. We're cool. We say things like team members. Yeah. My team guys. That's a special forces thing, We're team. We're part of the teams. What team are you on? SEAL team 6, whatever. All right. We're teams, guys. So he's always got to drop that, even though, I did double his enlistment. I did about, 5.5 years, just under 6, but that he did like 2 and 4 months or something, and got mad at Candace because she said 2, or I guess in total it was 3. I don't know, but he made a big deal out of that. And then she was like, okay, if I got it wrong, I got it wrong. Sorry, we'll correct the record. I think that's what we read. Much like I've saved or I've rescued 45,000 women and children, denied it. And then I just watched someone break down last night, someone broke down the metadata on the website, and that's like on the back end. It was like, it was there up until the day after the episode aired with Candace, because like once she questioned him and she was like, yep, it's on your site. And he's like, I never said that. Have I ever said that? You love it when somebody asks you a direct question and they answer your question with a question. Okay. How do you know when someone's lying? When they don't answer your question. Erika's really good at it. That's a very good question. Or Victor's like, well, I want to know. What I want to know is, how did you and your team narrow it down that I was the first to tweet or to post that Charlie was declared dead? Well, I mean, let me help you out. You were the first in his orbit to do it. Oh, okay. No pushback. Yeah, because you were. And that's weird too. And then you took it down, and then you were like, so you had the wherewithal to post it. And then once you posted it, you were like, no, that doesn't feel right. No, I'm going to take that down. That didn't feel right. But I just wanted people to pray. That's why I did it. I did it so that people would pray. Okay. If you're declaring him dead, who are they praying for at that point? If he's already passed, like Erika, and then he's like, and then I texted Erika and was like, Don't worry. Don't worry. I have it on good authority. I know he doesn't say that, but I mean, like, in what position, how would he even know to say they weren't, don't worry. They're not coming for you. They didn't want you and the kids. They only wanted Charlie. I just wanted to put her at ease. So you lie to her? Like, or you have firsthand knowledge? Like, you know that they only wanted Charlie? And who's they? Who's they? Tyler Robinson? Lance Twiggs? Furry trans leftists? How do you know that? Were you on the Discord chat? Were you there, Victor? No, I'm just kidding. I mean, like, this guy is just weird. I got a video that we're going to look at him from before. You also like when she asked him, like, you're a 3-year-old. You beheaded a cat and then you put it on your head. Yeah, at 3. Oh, but don't worry, the cat was already deceased. Okay, but like the skin and bones and ligaments are still all there. A 3-year-old, like, that's, and then you put it on your head. I don't know. And he couldn't answer that. And then he like tries to gaslight her and like victim. There's another term for it where he like turns it on her. He's like, you are discounting my abuse. There are millions of abused people that don't take kindly to that. And then he did the same thing about veterans. He's like, well, I'd be very careful, Candace. You know what he sounded like? He sounded like that chick. What was her name? Cordova Moore or whatever her name is. Lori Cordova Moore or Cordoza Moore. That was like, be very, very careful, Charlie. God's going to lift his hand of protection from you. Don't be counted among the Edomites, Charlie. That's kind of what Victor sounded like. Be very careful, Candace. Veterans don't like it when you miss their service dates by 6 months. Watch out. Bro, like, okay. Say I got out in 5 and I got out in 6. Okay, I just tell you, just correct it. Like, I got to like make a big deal about it. I doubt it's not that big of a deal. I mean, if you said like I'd never served, that's a big deal. Or you said that like I did something unhonorable, that's a big deal. But like, okay, you missed a couple months on how long I was in, whatever. Okay. But he's like, watch out. Veterans don't take kindly to that. You know, victims of abuse don't take kindly to that. She didn't say you weren't abused, bro. She's not saying like you don't have trauma in your life. I mean, just by watching you, I think we could kind of tell you do. And I mean, just honestly. But no, she's saying that she just doesn't believe some of the fantastical claims that you make, that like you did that to a cat at 3. And then the next thing that you said, which I'm not going to say on here, that you unalived somebody and nothing ever came of it. And then you told the cops and they were like, oh, you're good. You were 6. It's all good. Yeah. Oh, you don't know who it was? Oh, okay. Yeah. We won't look into that at all. Don't worry about it. Yeah. Trust me, you know, and then making the claim that like, oh yeah, Corby threatened my life and he had like legit plans. Well, Zach spoke to him. That's not true either. All right. Let's see. Oh, we got somebody. Was it Moxbox? Moxbox became a member. Welcome to the team, Moxbox. All right. Let's see. I can't keep up with the regular chat. If you guys have any thing and you want to get it in as we go, I'll pull up supers as we go. All right. Let's see. I got to hit refresh on this so that I see where I'm at. There we go. Let's start here. And I have it pulled up. All right. This is an older clip of him. Let's just get some context as to, and there's more. Like, he was on the Sean Ryan show and it was a 2-part series. Like, it's like 4-6 hours. So it's like in 2 parts. I'm not going to put us all through that. When I actually can like pull out all the clips and like just get it really time stamped, just for the parts that are really, really interesting, we can do that. But today we're going to look at this and we're going to look at a couple other things, but let me go here. Okay.
Y'all gotta pray for Charlie and Erika. That's a frontline warrior right there. He had me on. Anyway, that guy was like, he goes, man, I just appreciate you. He was on my podcast. He says, I love you. The gay dude. I was like, I love you too. I mean, in a homosexual way. He looks at the camera. He just starts laughing. Yeah, hard stop. Victor, ain't nothing there. And I'm like, well, what does that mean? Nothing?
Keep in mind, he's like at a church, on the stage at a church, talking to congregants. All right, just keep that in mind.
As y'all can tell, oh, thanks, son. That's my son, adult son. Still single. Any of you Idaho women?
I got to find out where this was. I just noticed that again. Oh, the backwards hat is a community fave. Cool. Yeah. Do you guys want to know why I do my backwards hat when I do? Oh, maybe I'll tell you on a members live. Maybe only I got to save some behind the scenes stuff for members only. There's a reason why I do a backwards hat. Maybe you guys could guess it. If you throw a super in and you guess it, I'll tell you. Okay. There's a very specific reason on certain days why I wear a backwards hat. Let's see if you guys can figure it out. All right. Oh, that's a funny pause I got him on. Yeah, that should be his cover photo. That's like his spirit animal. That's him right there. That's interesting pause face. You guys catch that? Look at that. I'm horrible. I'm sorry.
It's not that I want to marry this more than I just want more grandkids. So
wait, that was weird. He's like on the stage. Why did he do that?
I just want more grandkids.
Hold on. Where does this happen?
Still single. Any of you Idaho women?
That's weird. Okay, so I might be out on a limb here. Have you guys seen people that you kind of feel might be demonically possessed or oppressed? And they do weird things like with their tongue and their mouth and their eyes. And that was weird. He's talking about his son. So he's on a stage at a church. He's talking about his son being, marry my most eligible son. I want more grandkids. And then he does that really, I'm not going to do it because it's just really weird. But that's just strange. It's just a strange thing to do, what he did.
It's not that I want to marry this more than I just want more grandkids. So you got to get married first. Well, this could not be the worst time for me to ever come here and visit and speak.
Why?
And I probably had justifications to cancel, but I didn't. Because I said, Lord, what do you want? Because I'd rather stay home right now. I got a lot of things going on. 48 hours ago, my daughter was assaulted in a parking lot. Sexually assaulted, broad daylight. She's her mama's daughter, so she quickly ended it. This attempt, and as the guy speeding away, she had the wherewithal to put out her phone and record and capture his license plate, vehicle number, and all of that. Is wrong girl to mess with, because we hunt bad people. Within minutes, we hit that parking lot. I got a former clandestine Delta operator out of G Squadron. I have a former Special Forces Russian guy who's an American now.
Just keep in mind, he's like giddy about, and I get it. Like, okay, like if anyone ever were to hurt any, like my wife and my kids, bro, yeah, I'd be right there, but I don't know that I'd be on a pulpit like bragging that like I have all these like, you know, special operation guys that are going to team up with me to go, you know, I don't know. It's just he just kind of throws me off, like his body language, his affect, how he acts, how he talks. I know he's not a pastor, but at one point he said he was. I mean, he acts like one, at least a spiritual mentor to some, like praying over people, for people, casting demons out in the name of God, for people, commanding angels. And I'm not saying like I don't, obviously theologically, like evangelicals believe something differently than Catholics as to like apostolic authority, right? And obviously Catholicism has a more strict adherence and understanding as to who has authority to do what and how do you get that authority to do that, right? Whether that be those in the priesthood, those that are priests, the being able to be cardinals in the clergy, and then like those that can be ordained and trained to be exorcists, right? And then you have like Protestant evangelicals that believe like we're all called to do all those things. But I mean, just keep in mind, for me, I was raised in like, I think it was an Assembly of God. I don't really know, but looking back, like I think that's probably what it was. It kind of, I don't believe what I was taught in that church growing up, that like you can just speak in tongues, just speaking in tongues. Like you can just, like what Paula White does, like, oh, that's speaking in tongues. That's not how I understood it when I went to Bible college, and the purpose of speaking in tongues, and so there's things that a lot of Protestant evangelicals believe and say is based on scripture, but I mean, in the end, it really comes down to like your denomination and your interpretation of scripture. Very like you can end up on two different sides of like, when can you be baptized, and the gifts of the Holy Spirit, and like all the the elect. And I mean, man, that's why like theological debates almost sometimes are, I mean, in the end, it's like no one has proof. Like we have the scripture and then people interpret it differently, but the things, I think that you got to focus on the things that matter most, right? Like the pinnacles of Christianity, right? Like John 3:16, let me see. Let me read this. MRK. Thank you for your super, because some days you're outside more than other days. So you also wear your hat. So you end up with a half circle sunburn on your head, and it looks silly. So you wear the hat on the live. No, but I love that. That's hilarious. No. And if you guys guess it, I'll show you. Like I'll tell you, I'll be honest, and I'll show you. But that's funny. I like that. That's so good. You're making me laugh. Oh my goodness. Sorry. I'm one of those people that like when I work out or I exercise or when I laugh, like I turn as red as a cherry. It always was I don't know if it's my Scottish blood. I'm also Native American. I'm part of the Creek Nation because I was born in Tulsa, Oklahoma. And like I'm a card carrying, part of the nation, the Creek Nation. I don't know what part of my ancestry, like I get so red and hot. And when I laugh too, I get as red like a cherry. Or even when I get embarrassed, I think too, I get pretty red. You made me laugh, and then I was looking at myself in the camera, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, I'm turning red." Um, yeah, that was hilarious, though. I will be honest, if someone guesses it, and I'll show you, and I'll prove it to you, and I'm able to prove it. I'm able to prove it. Yeah. All right, let's continue. Oh, just okay, back on track with what Victor was saying. Yeah, I mean, I guess like if he's not actually saying he's a pastor, but I think he did, especially at this point. So I mean, I don't know. It's just bizarre. Just I don't know. All right, let's continue.
He was a Muslim that gave his life to Christ. And a few other very capable gentlemen. And it was a good, quick response showing from us. And the officer in charge on the scene, he goes, "I know you." I said, "Well, nice to meet you." And after he did his little paperwork, he bless his heart, he's like, "Yes, sir. Can I get a picture?" I don't know. I mean, I'm like, "Come on over here. Let's do this." He goes, "I have 4 daughters." And I looked at him and I said, "Then make it personal." So I don't want to go into details,
Yeah, please don't.
but I can say this. No one's going to be there in your time of need but you, in the seconds and minutes that matter. It's not 911. It's you. And not everybody's going to have a team of very capable bad people feeling hurt their dudes. But
I mean, yeah. So we live in a fallen world, but we also live in a world that's been redeemed and is still going to be fully redeemed when Christ comes back. And we have Christ, we have the angels, we have the angelic hosts, we have God the Father, and then we have the Holy Spirit, Christ, and we have the Trinity. And so we're never truly alone, and we do have free will, and then evil people have free will, and so like there's this balance of like at sometimes you do have to act, and you might be, but I mean, I'm surprised he didn't even like mention like God in that scenario at all. I don't know. I would have.
that's why I encourage men. I don't care who you are. You better be mission ready at all times. Because in a moment of crisis, that's not the time to plan, and certainly not the time to react. It's just the time to respond.
And I agree with that. And obviously, so like me and Victor actually have quite a bit in common. We both had pretty traumatic childhoods at a very young age. We both did serve in the Marine Corps. I did a full enlistment and then some extra because I was on a med hold, and then I got medically separated, like with retirement and stuff. But and yeah, I mean, like he trains with tactical, and like I do that as well. But like I train jujitsu, and I do believe that like you have to be able to defend what you love, protect what you hold dear, right? Your house, your wife, your kids, um, yeah, your friends, your family. Okay, let's see MRK. I got it. She goes, no, 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 no. Wait, 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 wait. I got it. I got it. I got it. You wear your hat because if you don't, the light, behind you is so bright that it glows and reflects off the back of your head, and it bothers you and or your misses. Well, no, because it's on all the time when I not wear my hat. It's on all the time when I'm not wearing my hat. It does reflect off my head though, but I don't care about that. No, but that's not it. That's not it. Um, I like almost want to give you guys a hint, but I'm afraid if I give a hint, it's like totally going to give it away. It'll just totally give it away. Um, all right, let me continue. I love that you're guessing though. That's hilarious. Let's continue. Boom, boom.
And I can't give details on this case, but I did put out a little post, and it's over 600,000 people. How's that for a bolo? So anyway, he's actually in the back of a trunk, duct taped right now here. I don't know how long we're watching the heat, but
I mean, is that a funny joke from a pulpit? Is that is that really I mean, or it's real? I don't know, man. It's weird. I mean, I get it though. Like with my kids, like if someone ever hurt them, like it would be very, very hard for me to not, you know, do something stupid. But I'd also have to keep in mind that I want to still be there for them in the future and my wife. And you can't really take the law into your own hands and then put yourself in jeopardy of being sent away for doing something really bad. So, you know, yeah. Yeah, that's a church. They're at a church. That's I mean, when I say pulpit, it's not in the traditional sense like you would see it like an Episcopalian church where there's an actual physical pulpit or a Baptist church or like a Catholic church, but like these non-denominational churches that I grew up in, like Calvary Chapel churches, which this is most likely a Calvary Chapel church, probably somewhere. It's somewhere in Idaho, or it's just a non-denominational evangelical Protestant church. And yeah, they're it's pretty much like when you get to go to these churches, and there's nothing wrong with it. It's just I mean, there might be, depending on who you are, um, it's kind of like going to a concert, right? I mean, even Nathan Apfel said it best. A lot of these mega churches are doing what they're doing for the presentation. It's for their live streams to their audiences that are watching around the United States or the world. It's production quality entertainment too, right? Like churches have become more about the experience, because I mean, that's a whole nother discussion about like, do I think modern churches are kind of forsaking the focus of scripture and the focus of what the church is supposed to be about, and they've become capitalistic and they've been tainted by secular society, and they try to retain and appease the masses to keep attendance high, by making sure, right, like, and I mean, there's nothing wrong with coffee and donuts in and of themselves. There's not. Like, that's great. I'm sure even like low income families that come to these churches, like that might be their only way to get a meal that day at church, or that even like medium income families that can't buy coffee every day or buy their kids donuts. Like, yeah, I get that. Right. Or the different, not extravagant, but the extra bells and whistles that a lot of these, and I grew up in all of them. I did. Like, some of the churches I grew up in Southern California are some of the biggest churches. And like if you guys were to look up North Coast Church in Vista, California, it's a massive church. They have like, I don't even know how many satellite campuses they have now. But Chris Brown, not the rapper, and Larry Osborne are like really, really well-known pastors within the Christian Protestant, evangelical community around the United States. They've even like written books on like how to plant churches and make them bigger, and but like these churches, they have the lights and the fog and the smoke and like high production cameras and like Hillsong United style worship teams, and none of these things are wrong in and of themselves. You'd really have to find out from each individual church where the heart where the pastors, the senior pastor's heart is on why they do these things, I think. Razor burn? No. Oh, but no, but I mean, you're getting warmer. You're warm. You're not hot, but not razor burn. No. I don't use a straight razor anyway. Let's continue. I love it though. You guys are. I'll tell you. I will tell you, and I'll show you. I'll prove it to you. All right, let's continue.
Just joking, kinda. So, I can't.
Wait, so he said just joking, kinda. Okay, so he might be in the back of your car. Cool. All right, good to know.
I can't give details of this.
Oh, but Corby's the one that's a danger to society, and you. Okay, but you're a vigilante justice kind of guy, and you got special operations guys that you can call at your beck and call to help you break the law and put a guy and falsely imprison him and kind of torture him if he's locked in the back of a trunk of a car and it's hot outside, even though he may deserve it, because like if he did what you said he did, like, yeah, but like we all can't just take the law into our own hands, even when we want to, even when it's justified, you know. Like, where would it end if we did that, you know?
But the moment that my daughter is texting me and calling me when the incident happened, and the guy's going, I happen to be on a call. I cannot even give the details, but it is regarding a national situation that I can tell you a lot of agencies are involved, including the White House, and asking for my help in certain things. And it's not because we're so great at everything, but it's because God's hand and his favor.
Wait, so this guy's connections go all the way up to the highest levels of government and the White House, and they're actually contacting him and his team to help with some sort of national investigation or national threat or something nationally that's going on at this time. Let me see what time. Oh man, this isn't the original video. This is someone's post on X. I'd have to find wherever this original video is. It's probably originally streamed from whatever church this was filmed at. If anyone is in the comments that can find this on YouTube or even a Google search for Victor Marx speaks at Idaho Church, and send that to me in my email, that'd be much appreciated. Sorry, I didn't mean to bump this. All right, let's continue. Oh, also, I do have a source that reached out to me and about how and when Victor might have found out, actually. So I'll get to that when we get there, by the way, just letting you guys know.
Is on our life.
All right, so that was that. That was it. And I don't think it says on this post. No, because I reposted someone's post. I reposted Jay, the Yapper's post, but he reposted, I think, someone else's post. This is a clip from Tarna Tarakian. I don't know if I pronounced that correctly. All right, let's go here. And I'm using Zach Costello's video because, man, work has been a lot this week, and I did not have the time to go through Candace's episode with. I watched it. I watched the full thing with Victor and Candace Owens, but I did not have the time to go and do the timestamps for these two parts. So big shout out to Zach for doing that. Or if someone on his team did that. We got 131 people here. We got 70 likes. Can you guys do me a favor real quick and just hit the like, right? Just hit the like. It's how you can help support this channel, please. I appreciate it. All right, let's continue. All right. It's a free and easy way to help support this channel. And it really does. It makes a huge difference, you guys. So I appreciate that. If you can just hop over there, hit the like. And if you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe. That's another great way to help the channel. If you don't know Zach, this is Zach Costello, and he has the Zach Costello Show, right? Or just Zach Costello on YouTube. He's a good guy. If you don't know about him, you live under a rock. No, I'm just kidding. He's big, but I would go watch his stuff, and I like it. I subscribe. I follow Zach, and I believe he is a Christian. He's Catholic, but Catholics are Christian, and he's a good, honest guy. So go give him a like and a subscribe too.
Is you were first to post a video that was later on removed, saying that Charlie had passed, and this video was about an hour and 20 minutes before the president's announcement. It would have been.
Keep in mind, right? So he is in like a studio-ish place, because like after this airs, he does like a selfie like post of him on a video, and he's like, me and my team, and he's like, and I debated Candace Owens, and like, you didn't debate anybody, dude. This was just a conversation with someone. But he had to try to get out ahead of it right away and be like, how great it went. I don't know what your team was watching, but if they watched what we watched, it didn't go that good. Candace came out on top of that whole thing. You did not look good. Okay. There was very little parts in there where I was like, oh, you look good there. Very little, if any at all. So, but anyways, he does a video, and you can see the area where he's at. So he's got his like a crew of people like around, and he's like looking off, and seemingly it seems like he has an earpiece in, and someone's talking to him at different points. He pauses and almost like changes his answers at times, or adjusts them a little bit. So, I mean, just keep that in mind as well. And he prepped for this as well. I mean, I guess you're allowed to prep for it, but I mean, if you're just telling the truth and you're just retelling an event that actually happened the way you said it happened, there's not much prepping you'd need to do. You just need you and your lived experience and your memory from that day, and you just tell the truth about what happened. I don't know why you would need to prep very much for that.
To the minutes about the time that his family found out that he had passed away, or the people that were at the hospital have found out that he had passed away. So can you explain how you found that out, and why you chose to remove the video?
Well, yeah, I'm first interested to find out why y'all think I was the first, or one of the first, to do.
So keep that in mind. I said it in the opening, right? That, bro, just why wouldn't you just answer the question? Like every time Erika's done this, or who else? I mean, anyone that's like under any kind of like magnifying glass for anything, if they can't just answer a direct question directly and honestly, it just makes you look a lot worse. You're like trying to turn this on Candace and her team. No, like all of us online in social media that either saw the post or saw that someone reposted the post, and like the post is real. You did make the post, and you came out before BB, or maybe not before BB. I don't know. I'd have to look at the timeline, like, because I know BB was one of the first as well. But you were definitely one of the first publicly on social media in Charlie's orbit to post that. Is that an ISIS flag in the back on the ground underneath the Lion of Judah, I think, or right? Looks like I don't want to say the word because I don't know. YouTube's sketchy with smaller channels. Like, you can't say and do things. I was nervous yesterday with Tommy, he was great. Very knowledgeable in a lot of things, very articulate, very entertaining, very comedic at times, very eccentric. Some of the views that he held, I do not agree with. And that's fine. I said that yesterday, right? That like, I may even have to say like a disclaimer in the beginning, like, Hey, the views and beliefs and statements that my guest says are his and his alone. I do not believe everything that my guest says or believes, but it's good to have people with other views on your show. Candace interviewed Victor Marx, interviewed Hunter Biden, right? She had Nick Fuentes. So did, Tucker Carlson and Nick Fuentes, Ted Cruz, Huckabee, Putin. Just because you have someone on your show and you interview them doesn't mean everything they say on your show you believe as well. And so just know that. But and everyone's entitled to land somewhere differently. And same with, like, I've had, different people like John or Mitch or other people that they even have opposing views as to what happened to Charlie. And it's like, that's okay. Like I believe, though, most of us are in this for the right reason and trying to find out what really happened to Charlie. Most.
Do that because, a rough estimate, there's between 1 to 3 million pieces of social media content that are produced every second.
Wait, do you guys think that's a real fire on in the back place, or is that just the light flickering in what is a fireplace? Like, we're in May. This was like at 3 p.m. You have a fire burning. I don't think he's got a fire burning. It's just funny.
Worldwide. And, my team looked it up. If there's 180 million posts per minute,
yeah,
and let's just say the first 30 minutes, we're talking 5.4 billion posts in 30 minutes.
Yeah, that's great.
How could y'all narrow it down? What type of technology could y'all do to narrow down that?
I got it. I know what Candace technology is. She has a brain and eyes, and she saw when you posted it and the time and compared that to when later people like Mikey and Erika said they found out. That's how. And you would have been the first. That's how. Mystery solved there, buddy. He was trying to have like a gotcha moment with her when I love her response. And he goes, oh, okay.
Was one of the first ones to post that he had passed.
Pause that right there. So the question posed to Victor Marx was, how did you find out so fast? And why did you post on social media about it? And then why did you take it down?
I love you, Zach, but I pretty much said the same thing. So I'm just going to get to the part where Candace answers. Wait, does he not play her answering it?
We know you were one of the first people in Charlie Kirk's inner circle.
Right.
No. How do we know? Well, here is how we know that he was one of the first to publish that Charlie Kirk was dead.
Here we go.
Sam Parker, and I want you guys, if you don't follow Sam Parker on X, please do so.
Yeah, Sam's big.
Put together this perfect breakdown of the timeline. I want you to take a listen to this, and then you'll realize that the rest of Victor Marx's answer here that he gives to Candace is total
BS.
Horse spit.
Yes.
Take a listen.
BS.
What time was Charlie Kirk first pronounced dead? Let's get into it.
Victor Marx was the first person who announced that Charlie went to heaven, is what he said. I'm going to show you that post right here. And the person who sent this to us, they sent it to us in Eastern Standard Time. Fortunately, they had it screenshots. Their buddy sent it to them, and it showed us the timeline. But it says here, Victor Marx wrote, "Pray for Erika and their two little children who need the prayers now that Charlie is in heaven. The shooter is in custody." And he did a video, and he announced that Charlie had died. And people in the comments were like, "But Glenn Beck posted he's stable. This is not confirmed. Who confirmed this? I haven't seen anything posted that he passed." And I remember this happening on the day. I do certainly remember that Victor Marx was the first person to say that Charlie had died. And you should know, but he posted that information at 1:13 p.m. Utah time, Mountain Standard. So that is less than an hour after Charlie was shot. Erika Kirk's dear friend, Victor Marx, announced that he had died. That's just 50 minutes after Charlie was shot. Who told him? I feel like that is early. And we should plot that here, revisit our minute-by-minute timeline from September 10th and see where that falls exactly.
So Victor Marx knew at 1:13 p.m., just 50 minutes after the Big Bang event at UVU. Is that possible? And what does that tell us about the exact time that Charlie was first pronounced dead? Well, according to Andrew Colvett, yes, it is possible. According to Colvett, he found out 30 to 40 minutes after the Big Bang event.
How long did it take before you knew he had died?
30.
There was I don't know, I want to say probably 30 or 40 minutes.
Okay.
Okay, so at least according to Colvett, it would have been possible for Victor Marx to have found out by 1:13 p.m. So let's look at the full timeline. Here's what I've been able to reconstruct. It took 1 minute to carry Charlie to the SUV and load him and leave UVU. Then it took about 7 to 10 minutes for them to drive to the hospital.
100 miles an hour, hanging out the door while Rick Cutler's holding on to Brian Harple's shirt while Brian Harple's administering first aid to Charlie's neck on the other side of the car, even though Rick Cutler could just do that himself. And then Brian could just move Charlie's feet into the car and shut the door. Yeah. And remember, they're cutting their own intersections. Yeah, we're cutting our own lights. We're doing it all. Yeah.
Then it probably took it.
Yeah, and the 911 calls are like, it looks like someone's trying to get out of the car or someone's hanging out of the car. Yeah.
At least 5 to 10 minutes to get Charlie into the operating room.
Yeah.
And then we're told that they were working on Charlie for 20 to 30 minutes in the operating room before the surgeon pronounced him dead.
Yeah.
So that adds up to about 33 to 50 minutes total, which Andrew Colvett's 40 minutes fits nicely inside of, which gives us an earliest estimated time of death pronouncement between 12:56 p.m. and 1:13 p.m. 1:13 p.m. again being the time that Victor Marx posted to social media that Charlie had passed away. So that 1:13 time, that is the upper bound of the minimum possible time, given what we know.
So that is interesting. So he would have been one of the first to know. Let me back up just so I get the beginning of.
Take a listen.
Let's put it in a context that's easier. The first person in Charlie's orbit that announced that information.
So his long-winded rebuttal, like his question back at her, like, I just want, what I want to know, what we want to know here is why do you think, or how did you guys narrow it down that I was the first to post in the world? No one said that, Victor. The first in Charlie's personal orbit to post. Another thing to keep in mind is that Victor's wife, his bride, right, that's how he refers to her, my bride, was really, really close with Erika. Okay. Probably closer with Erika than he was with Charlie. Right. And so someone had reached out to me, and for now, it's just an anonymous source, right? That actually it was Victor's wife that called Erika to see if she was okay, right? Because everyone at that point had known. And while on the phone, it was relayed from Erika to his wife that Charlie had passed. And that after, she was talking with Erika, then what supposedly was a text was not a text, but Victor had gotten on the phone and said to her over the phone what he said is a text in, this interview with Candace, that like, oh, you don't need to worry. They're not coming after you. They just wanted Charlie. You and the kids are safe. So, and that kind of checks out if Erika is one of the first to know, and Victor's wife is super close with Erika and would call, that would make sense that she would call to check on Erika. Erika would answer, right? And that if he's with his wife, Victor's with his wife right there, that means they would have found out, him and his wife would have found out at the same time. And, he would have told her, he wouldn't have gotten off the phone with her and then texted her later, and said, like, you don't have to worry, like, you're going to be fine. They just wanted Charlie and no one else. And then, but I don't know why he thought it was a good idea to do that social media post. I mean, and it's also possible, I'm still trying to make sure that this person verifies who's the source and can prove to me that they know this from firsthand accounts. But at this point, the person wants to remain anonymous. And right now it's just a tip that is possibly true. It seems like it's true from what this person has given to me so far. But it's also possible that either Frank or Brian or Dan called Victor, or Victor called Brian, Dan, or Frank, right? Especially if Victor's team is the team that brought secondary relief to Brian Harple and Dan Flood's team, the Integrity Security Solutions, that upon seeing the video or finding out, that Charlie was shot, and maybe even before he found out that Charlie was dead, called to offer relief to Brian and Dan. And while on the phone with them, if they're in the hospital, right? And while on the phone with them saying like, yeah, we'll get the team ready. We can fly out there X amount. We can be there ASAP. We can charter a flight. We'll be there soon. And if he's on the phone with like any of them and they're all in the waiting room at the hospital. And remember, Frank said this, but that the surgeon comes running out and goes, Charlie's dead. Charlie's dead. And, he said with about the softness of a brick or something, Frank says like, kind of throwing this surgeon under the bus that like he was so non-empathetic or tactful in the way he delivered this information that he just came out and screamed it. He's like, I'll never forget. He just came out and was like, Charlie's dead. And he kind of like threw the surgeon under the bus. But if Victor was on the phone with Frank or Dan or Brian, right, then he could have found out that way too. And he would have been one of the first. He might have even been before Erika if Erika's not in person, right? And if Erika's on the phone with, I don't know if Andrew's not there yet. Mikey, okay, so if he was pronounced dead 33 to 50 minutes after, Mikey was at the hospital by then. Mikey was lingering around at UVU for 15 minutes after, but about like 20 to 25 minutes after, he leaves with Blake and they go to the hospital. And so it is possible too that Erika's already on the phone with Mikey when the surgeon comes out and finds out that way, or Mikey calls her right after. I mean, there's still so much left up. We don't know, which is just kind of, hopefully I can get some definitive answers from this individual and I can bring it to you as a statement of fact instead of just allegedly right now that this is possibly what happened. As once I can check it out, and I can verify this person. But also I see we got, all right, let's continue.
And
Okay.
when we put it down to the minute, it was when Erika found out that Charlie had passed away. So I was wondering how that was.
Okay. I had someone text me and he said, my son is at Charlie's event and Charlie was just shot. And it doesn't look good. We went on it. I watched Charlie being shot one time and my team, many who are former special operations guys and combat medics, lots of experience, they viewed it multiple times because I wouldn't. And they said Charlie wouldn't live from that. And I knew it. I knew the only time.
And there's so much weird with what this guy's doing right now. His pause, either he's pretending to be choked up, is choked up and retelling that story, or someone's talking to him in his ear. He's looking off camera a bit. Maybe someone's coaching him. I don't know. Saying that he watched it once. He only would watch it once, but then he had his team guys watch it several times. He's also was in the Marine Corps, but also has done like many missions rescuing people and has said that he has unalived people himself. He wouldn't need someone else to tell him if that was like a life or death, shot, right? Like he should be able to know himself from watching it. But then he says, I would only watch it once. I only watch it once, right? And then, but my special operations guys watched it multiple times, and they were like, and they're very experienced, right? You can't question a special forces guy, right? They're the best. However, I like Black Scout Survival, who says just because someone has a trident or jump wings or, the beret, Delta or Green Beret, doesn't mean they're trustworthy. So, I mean, and just because a person has an Eagle Globe and Anchor doesn't mean they are. Totally true. Totally true. But he's definitely trying to get that type of cred by saying that. And I just don't know that I don't think this is the actual truth at all, his story. Yeah. Also, come on, you guys. If you guys have already done so, thank you so much. But those of you that haven't, just do me a quick favor and just hit the like and subscribe. It's definitely how you can help support the channel. We got 150 people. We got 89 likes. You don't have to hit subscribe, I guess, if you don't want to, but at least hit the like for watching. All right.
I saw it. I knew there's no way he could have survived that.
Well, that's weird. He says he talked to the special operations guys and they said, but then he goes, but then I knew there's no way he could have survived that. So which is it? Did they tell you, or did you know from the one time that you watched it?
And when I made a post and said, Charlie's passed, of course, I know Frank Turret, I know the security teams. I put it up, and then I didn't see anybody else posting it. I thought it was premature, and I pulled it down because it just felt wrong that I would post it. But
wait, why would it feel wrong? Like, I agree that it probably is wrong, right? Especially if you're not even telling the truth about how you found out. But like, so let's say it's one of the 3 or 4 ways that you could have found out, right? Like maybe you're telling the truth and you saw the video one time, and then your special operations guys watched it and they said, there's no way he's surviving that. But remember, at this time, you guys, there's so many things that, like, in hindsight, we forget. At the time, we didn't know if Charlie was wearing a vest. Okay. We didn't know that it was a 30-06, right? We didn't know what caliber it was. All we would have known is that his shirt moved really weird. There's no known exit wound. There's no high velocity blood splatter out the front or out the back. The entry wound doesn't look like a traditional rifle bullet entry wound. There was a delay before the blood came out, and the entry wound almost looks like an exit wound of some kind, or a weird entry wound of some other kind of projectile, not a rifle round. And from all of the special operations guys like Mike Ritland, Mike Glover, the SAS guy that he had on his show, and many other guys, or even, some others that I won't name, but have said just from watching that video, they knew it wasn't. I mean, once we found out that it's supposedly a 30-06, but even in the beginning, they were like, there's no way that's like a high velocity rifle. There's no high velocity blood splatter. There's no exit wound. There should be way more damage. If it was like a smaller caliber local, hand, on the ground, closer up handgun, still, why did the entry look like that? Why was there a delay in the blood coming out? And then it looked weird when it came out. Why did the shirt move? So he says that just from watching the video once, like, he knew it was a rifle bullet wound and that Charlie didn't survive. So, like, almost trying to say, like, he believes the Fed slop narrative, like, right away. I don't know. I just find that weird. I mean, so much about what he says is weird.
I wanted people to pray. And then
yeah, that was the other thing. Like, so you're going to post it. You're going to post it. No matter how you found out, and you didn't think, and your wife didn't tell you, maybe you shouldn't post that yet. Maybe you should wait. Or maybe you should do a post about praying for Charlie, but maybe you don't need to announce that he's dead, right? If the world hadn't found out yet that he's dead, and it's almost like he wanted to be the first, right? He couldn't help himself, right? He said, and just like he did in that video on the pulpit, he, like, his grandiose, over the top, fairy tale type stories about, like, he over exaggerates things and like wants attention. Like he wanted to be the first to say that. And then maybe probably someone in his circle is like, you need to take that down. Or someone at TPUSA was like, you need to take that down. Or his wife or Erika or who knows, someone. I don't think if his mind is the mind that said post it, I don't think his mind is the mind that said maybe you should take that down, right? I don't think that those are the same mind. I think it would have taken a totally different mind that looked at that with a totally different pair of eyes and gone like, bro, you need to take that down. That doesn't look good for many different reasons. So I don't even think that's the truth of him saying like, oh, yeah, I posted it because I wanted people to pray, but then I realized like, oh no, that's not appropriate. I'm going to take it down. No, I don't believe it. Oh yeah. I'll be careful. All right, Mystic, thank you for gifted 5 Blackline Brief memberships. You're awesome. All right, let's continue here.
Contacted Erika through a text and told her.
Someone's talking to him right there. Right there. Someone's hollering in his ear.
I wanted people to pray. And then I contacted Erika through a text and told her.
Yep. And he looks off to the left. Somebody's telling him something. You can't help it. You just react. Oh my gosh, I think my wife's making dinner. It smells so good. I'm so hungry, you guys. It's crazy. It smells so good. What are you cooking, sweetie? This room is like right above the kitchen downstairs, and so like I think it's coming up through the vents. It smells good. Whatever you're cooking, thank you. I love you.
I just told her.
No. And then he's like all choked up, but he's not. Someone told him like, bro, shut it or change what you're about to say. Why are you going off script? We prepped you for a reason. Dude, can you not just stick to what we said?
Nobody's going to kill you. You're safe. You and the kids. No one's coming after you. They just wanted Charlie. And I was just trying to reassure her.
Is that really reassuring someone though? If you don't actually know that. So like 33 to 50 minutes after, right, Charlie's assassinated and they find out that he's passed. He does the post and then he says, then I took it down and then I texted Erika shortly thereafter. So within an hour and a half time frame, he supposedly texts her, even though on my source, it wasn't a text, it was a phone call. And it happened like right when his wife got off the phone. He handed the phone over, like he asked, she was on the phone. His bride was on the phone with Erika. And then he's like, let me talk to her. Hands Victor the phone. And then he says that. But in his story, he texts her. But is that really reassuring someone? If you don't actually know that her life and the kids' lives aren't in danger, because we don't actually know who is, the suspect who actually did it at this time. You're just, and you're not even there to protect her, and you don't even know where she is, or maybe you do. Like, she's supposedly flying from Arizona at that time, right? Or she's actually on the ground already at the FBO in Utah. And you're just telling her, like, does that actually give someone reassurance? Like, for real, you're like in a different state, so you can't even protect her, even if you did, even if you wanted to. And then you like give her false hope. Like, don't worry though. They just wanted him. They don't want you and the kids. They just wanted him. How do you even know that? How would you even know that? And even if it's true, how would that even bring her any kind of comfort and reassurance by you just saying that? Like, all she would have to say back is like, how do you know that? How can you guarantee that whoever did this doesn't want me and the kids too? And then he would have to say, well, I don't know. I'm just telling you. Or he'd have to say, well, I know because I know who did it. And that'd be even more weird. But I mean, like, You can make like a whole post of all the weird things Victor Marx has said.
Okay.
All right.
So Victor Marx's story is that a friend's son was there at UVU.
Right. And we went over that. Hold on. Let me go to the next part. Here we go. Right.
End of this video. Watch this again. Listen to his tone here. Listen to what he says.
And then I contacted
Oh, and that's where he points out that, yeah, it looks like someone was talking in his ear.
Like they're not.
Hold on. Let me go to the next part where there's your. Oh, and then he goes to what, and we did this breakdown yesterday. So, all right, let me see where we are at. And then, hey, mods, have you guys already sent me? Not right now, but I mean, you can send it right now. But for the end of the show later, the end of the show, Charlie Kirk clip. I don't have one in the inbox. 1 second. Don't worry, we're not done. We're not even close to done yet. Let me see something. Okay, I kind of want to show this too. But hold on 1 second. Let me pause the video. So for those of you that maybe didn't follow Charlie before everything, yes, he was turning on his overall support for the pro-Philly cause. But really what kind of started to bother the donors, okay, was when he went on the PBD podcast and said what he said about October 7th, BB, and you know that BB has a mandate to ethnically cleanse Gaza, and that possibly BB had stand down orders because it doesn't make sense in a country the size of New Jersey that it took 6 hours to respond. You know, so that was one, and then his public statements questioning of Jeffy Epi and his ties to American intel services, but also Philly's intel services. And that clearly he was propped up and supported by and protected by American intel, but also Philly intel services. And that he was, you know, working for Philly in the majority of his, you know, roles that, and yeah, had protection from them as well. And they did not like that at all. And anyone that was questioning Jeffy and saying that, and like Tucker and Candace and others as well, and Megan, that did not, that was like, so I think there was like multiple things, but these were two big things. And then it just got worse for him. And then he started like talking about donors and, yeah. And it only got worse as time went on. And then I think he became very disillusioned with the Trump administration, with Fordeau, and probably saw the war drums beating and the writing on the wall and BB. And then you have Hamptons and Aspen, the threats, the Zoom calls and the text threads, you know, and Lori Cardozo more threatening him. And it just got unreal. And he said people calling him an anti-Semite and all these other things just made things increasingly worse for him. But let's just remember what Charlie was saying. And this is one of the things, this is why Charlie posed a significant threat alive, because he was willing to do things like this.
Realize that Epstein, with his little friend Ghislaine and Ghislaine's father, Robert Maxwell, who was obviously a spy of the Israeli intelligence agencies, that there was something else going on here. Epstein was not some sort of whiz kid hedge fund manager. Epstein was playing a part. Epstein was a LARPer. Epstein was cast for a specific role, and he played it really well. The sweatpants and the Harvard jacket, the kind of disheveled hair, looking as if he was so smart and above the clouds that he was doing advanced mathematic equations on the back of napkins. But if you actually go into some of the videos of people that met with Epstein at the time, they said he was awfully unimpressive when it came to finance and markets and economics. And it's nothing new that if you're in the intel agencies, you want to try and get as much blackmail on powerful people as possible. Easy, not hard. And this is no longer just speculation. First of all, the evidence that shows that Epstein was a creation of either Mossad, Israeli intelligence, American intelligence, Saudi intelligence, or maybe he was just a hired gun. Maybe he was just the guy that countries would go to and park a couple $100 million and say, hey, can you get one of the members of the royal family with a 13-year-old so we can get them to do what we want to do? Members of Congress are actively being blackmailed. The Epstein playbook is being used on a daily basis.
Yeah.
Jeffrey Epstein was not a financier.
No.
He was not a hedge fund manager.
Nope.
Jeffrey Epstein was a key player in a multi-decade blackmail operation against the most powerful people on the planet.
Yep. And, they deal with different people differently, like Tucker poses a very, very similar threat, and so does Candace. But I think they were very, very aware that who they're calling out would take them out. And they have their own security. They don't go to public speaking events without like really good security that they trust. Charlie was in the middle of the wolves, right? But he didn't think so. And he also thought, I think, that even though his donors were unhappy with him, I think he thought the worst that would happen is the board could vote him out. And maybe he was hoping that would happen. Maybe he was hoping they'd vote him out and then he could leave freely and go do something else. Or the donors would keep pulling money and they would intentionally tank TPUSA to the point where it didn't tank, though. It wouldn't tank as long as Charlie was there, but all the money, the donor money would be gone. But I think he would then become like Tucker and Candace and Meghan and like be independent and free, but with the same name. I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. Whatever how that would have played out. But I think I don't think that he thought until towards the end, right, that they would actually kill him until it was too late, right? Until like that couple weeks before, or the first time he told someone. Well, I think he thought when he came back from Hamptons and Aspen was in later, that he was at least aware and afraid that someone might take him out. But I think he probably thought he had more time. And then I also think I think he had a false sense of security because of some of the people he thought he knew, like Trump and JD, Kash Patel, Dan Bongino. And then having the security team that he had with their connections that they had, like Dan Flood and Brian Harple. I think he trusted all of them. And I think he also trusted everyone near him, all his friends as well, and his wife. So, I think that's just super, super tragic. Yeah, that he put trust and hope in people that he probably shouldn't have. I don't know what to make of this. So we have 111 likes, but we have 147 people here. Does that mean we have 100? We have like 30. We have 36 people here that are scoping on me, but don't actually like the channel. You guys don't like the channel? You don't like me? Are you here gathering intel on me? Is that what's going on? Or is there 37 bots or 36 bots here? What's going on? Well, if you're here and you haven't hit the like, man, come on, man. You can do it. I believe in you. You just got to go just like that. All right. Let's continue. Where is the next clip I have? Oh, I wanted to bring this up because this I thought is interesting. This other one, I'm going to have to do another time because it's way too long. I'll have to do a separate video on that. Let's go here. Let me back up.
Maybe you're wrong by not seeing what is very blunt truth, that if the United States would cave in to Iran terror regime that controls now also the Hormuz Passway and the terror ring that it created in the Middle East, maybe it would be even worse for any citizens in the world, not only in Israel, but also in the United States. And this is exactly what Donald Trump said. He said that the United States would have been in danger. So you don't believe Donald Trump?
I don't believe Donald Trump. And I also think as an Israeli, you should pause before using the phrase terror regime, since you live in a country that just murdered thousands of children in Gaza. We should all pull back a little bit on the rhetoric that. I'm not defending Iran, but I'm just saying
even the
fact
that you want
regime,
me
it's a little hard to hear that from an Israeli right now, I have to say.
That you want me to make an equation between democratic government that's acting, maybe not to your taste, but from self-defense, to a terror regime in Iran that is terrorizing its own citizens, that hanging people, gay people from cranes, with Islamic extremist Sharia, to a democratic.
No, we don't believe the propaganda that you're spitting out, dude. We don't trust any news that comes from you, and we don't even trust any mainstream news that comes out from our mainstream news networks, bro. Okay, Iran didn't pose a threat to us, dude. And I don't even know that they pose a significant threat to you. I mean, especially if October 7th was either done by your government, right, or allowed to happen by your government, or, you know, Hamas was propped up and paid by Bibi. This was all just a pretext so that you guys could go to war and get the, you know, the international committees and global, you know, cabal to sign off on it.
Country that's abide by international law.
You have not.
Of self-defense.
Oh,
it's ridiculous. Do you think that Israel and Iran is on the same equation? Really?
I don't think Israel and Iran are the same.
That's what you're saying.
By many measures,
this is exactly why.
I can
okay.
totally
this
happy
is why
to
people
tell you what
saying
I'm saying,
that,
which is
that
this.
you're targeting only Israel, and by that.
Well, of course, I'm not targeting anybody. Okay. I don't have a military. I'm a podcaster, so I don't target people. What I'm saying is true, which is Iran's behavior, the government of Iran's behavior, is in some cases disgusting to me and immoral. But the behavior of the Israeli government in Gaza is disgusting and immoral. And of course, Israel's not a democracy in any sense. There are millions of people who live under Israeli control who cannot vote, right? And so if the West Bank, Judea and Samaria and Gaza, or whatever we're calling these places, which Israel has controlled since 1967, have people living in them who have no control over the government that controls their lives, which is true. It's not a democracy. So let's just drop the talking points. I agree with you on self-defense. I don't think killing children is self-defense. It never will be.
No.
And no amount of recounting the legitimate atrocities of October 7th will ever get me to accept this behavior from the Israeli government.
And that's what they do, right? They just, and that's why they want to indoctrinate and propagandize people like, let me bring you to a private screening of this documentary of October 7th. That's what that rabbi wanted to do for Candace. Let me sit you down and show you some really horrible, horrific things that we either allowed to happen or funded to happen or made happen. You know, let me show you all the horrible things that happened in World War II to us so that we can now tell you we have the right to go do all this to these women, children, and elderly people. And I mean, whatever animals are there too, guys. There's dogs. They don't treat dogs great in other countries, but I'm sure there's cats and dogs out there that get hurt too. And that's sad. I'm serious. There's a lot of innocent lives that are being hurt in Gaza, West Bank, Palestine, and Iran. You know what I mean? Let me read this. We got always be true. What I saw Zach read a super chat you gave him today. It was a really good one. Okay. Andrew's actually a great PR guy. Can't type the rest because super chat won't send. No bad words, I promise. Just crazy YouTube. I'll send in the email. Okay, yeah, send it in the email. Then do I have your permission to read it in the email? Because I got your other email yesterday, but I'm not going to read people's personal emails unless I have permission. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, they want the natural resources that Iran owns. Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah. All right, let's continue. I also have to pause it because even though it's not Tucker's channel that we're playing from, it's definitely Tucker Carlson. So chill, YouTube. Chill out, man. Look, copyright disclaimer. Fair use disclaimer. Chill. Don't cut my stream. Okay. We all want to be here. Wait, Zebra Z, what? Tomorrow's breakfast is going to be so exciting. It's Saturday, so I'll make pancakes with bacon. Tomorrow's Friday. Where are you? You're somewhere where it's already Friday where you are? That's cool. You're in the future. What's tomorrow like, Zebra? Because it's Thursday where I am. Where most of us in the United States, it's still Thursday at least. Actually, everyone in the continental United States is still Thursday. Yes, that is a factual statement. All right, let's continue. I want to hear Tucker just destroy this guy.
From the U.S. government, from the Iranian government, or any government. It's always wrong. And Israel doesn't like to acknowledge the existence of universal principles that apply to everyone equally. That's why they're principles, not preferences. And Israel, again, which I've always liked as a country, is a lot of civilized, decent people living there to this day, has to acknowledge that principles are universal. Yeah. They apply to everyone, even you, even me, my government, your government.
Why did he laugh about that? No, because remember, the Talmud, right? Whether it's the Babylonian or the Jerusalem Talmud, says, no. There's different rules. We're subhuman, us goyim. So we don't get the same privileges. Our souls they don't come from the same place as theirs, right? We're like dogs. We're like animals. And that's why they also feel it's okay to do that to the Palestinians and to those in Iran, because we're just all subhuman. We're just, that's what Jeffy Epi believed too, let the Goyim deal in the real world. Yeah. Great people.
Every government, but you won't acknowledge that. It's always like, oh, Iran's bad. Yeah, Iran's bad. But your behavior is bad too.
I'll tell you something. There's a journalist that critiques our own government. I'm using your phrase to make it accurate. You said the people don't have any control in Judea, Samaria, and Gaza. Well, this is false. They have the Palestinian Authority. They control the lives, and Israel controls the security. Israel, for times after time, the last 30 years, said to the Palestinians.
No, Mystic, I didn't mean to give you a thumbs down. I didn't notice that. I'm doing this as I'm doing that. No, I gave you a thumbs up. I fixed it. No, they're good. You're good. We're good. I haven't gotten to look at them yet. I don't know. But I'm sure they're good. I don't think they're repeats. I didn't mean to give you a thumbs down. They're right next to each other. I got a big thumb. Sorry. Let's continue.
Let's have peace. Let's have agreement, from the Oslo agreement to the to other agreements. All the time, the one that.
So always, do I have your permission? Did you say I have your permission to read your email, which didn't go through in the super chat, but you sent it to me in an email? Do I have your permission to read it? Let's see. Let me scoot back and see, because I threw that as a question earlier, and you might have answered it. Yes, please read it. Okay, cool. All right, here it is. Hey, Andrew Colvett is a snake. In the text he sent to Candace on September 10th that she showed on her show the other day, he made sure to write shot for sure neck area, setting up the Fed slop narrative from minute one. Maybe he's not so dumb after all. And it was supposed to be you, I think, was a lie to scare her and get her to stay quiet. I agree 100%. What is up, Zamet? Man, what is up? Thank you so much for that super. That is so generous and kind of you. I appreciate you. My God, unlike yours, dabbles in real estate. I so don't know some of your super chat. Are you being funny? Wait, and do you mean mine or his? The guy, this guy. I don't know. Give me more. Tell me more. Write more. Oh my gosh, you guys are great. Hi, Zamet. Fire. Wait, Zebra, you live. Let's see. Zebra lives. I did live near the top end. Koala crocodiles are hectic. We had them in the town dam, and when the dam overflowed, the baby crocodiles went over the spillway and into the rivers. Okay, that's sketchy. That's like a bad dream. That sounds horrible. Let's see. Dang, I get caught up in the chat. Sorry. Yeah, because the chat's so good, right? You're like, can I do both? Zebra. Holy smokes, that's wild. Live in bear country. Me too. I live in bear country. Like, well, kind of. Yeah. Yeah, there's some bears up here. Yeah. All right, let me continue. All right, let me get back to the video.
Targeted and succeeded in stopping the peace process was Hamas, that funded by Iran. But I want to go back.
Zebra, you're an Aussie. So it's already Friday in Australia? Yeah, that makes sense. And Zamet means what's his face? Oh, this guy right here? Oh, no, you mean Victor Marx. Victor Marx, not you, though. Okay, Victor Marx. Yes, I got you.
Right.
But your claim
may I ask you to pause for 1 second?
Yes.
I'm not defending Hamas or Iranian funding of anti-Israel.
No, it's not. He didn't say that. It seems like it. It seems like it. No, but nice try. Nice try.
Saying Hamas and Iran is like Israel. It seems like giving some kind of.
That's interesting. The 13th. 13's a weird number, guys. 13 is a very interesting occult number, right? Friday the 13th, when all the Templars were all unalived, right? That's this news channel. The 13th, 1-3.
Of a blind spot to the differences between terror organization and a state.
Well, Israel does commit terrorism and brags about it, setting off.
No, no, it doesn't. No, it does not, because I said so. Yes, it does, and it funds it, Yeah, yes, it does. This is how you like, bro. You call yourself a journalist. You're telling the news. No, you're telling propaganda. That's total BS. And we can just like see it. Like, most of us have eyes and an independent brain, and we see the world, and we see you and what they do. And yes, you are nana boo boo.
Pagers in the pockets of people when you don't know who those people are is terrorism.
Yeah, and then you send a golden pager to Trump and be like, be careful, buddy. The next one's for you. Or it's like, here you go. This is for you as a trophy. I don't know.
No, you're Hezbollah terrorist. And this is what countries doing to defend themselves.
No, that is not true. That is what you're saying is not true. Israel did not, the morning that it detonated those pagers, know who was holding the pagers.
Nope.
And people who committed no crime.
There were pagers of Hezbollah terrorists, unless you are not acknowledging Hezbollah as a terror organization. Do you think maybe it's some kind of a party, like a Democratic Party? I don't know, or the Republican Party.
Right. I'm not defending Hezbollah. I'm merely saying that terrorism is. Let me define terrorism, and then we can apply that standard to everybody, including Israel and the United States. When you kill innocent people, and you do so knowing you're going to do that in order to strike terror into people or to push people back, that is terrorism. So any government that does that, or any person who does that, is committing terrorism, period. And again, these are universal standards that apply to everyone. That is not anti-Semitism.
No, don't you understand, Charlie? I mean, Tucker, don't you understand that if they don't see us as equal humans with the same God-given rights and souls that come from the same place as theirs, you know, like, do you, I mean, I know we love animals. And so if you knowingly like take an animal's life, like, yeah, that's, I mean, I guess it's not murder in the same sense as like as a human, but I mean, it's still wrong. It's like 100% wrong. But they see taking out anyone that's not Philadelphian as like taking out a dog or a cat, which is evil, in my opinion, and should never happen. But to them, they're like, yeah, it's just a human. I mean, it's just a dog. It's just an animal. It's not the same. So striking terror to us, it's not. It's like, oh, I scared a dog today. You know, they don't see it as the same. It's not the same. That's why they're going to go round and round. This guy does not see it as the same. They don't see us as the same. Period.
To apply a standard universally to every human being. That's all I'm doing. And I'm merely saying, look, this is not good for us, for the United States and for the rest of the world.
So when ICE in the United States trying to back off people, this is terrorism?
When any government kills innocent people on purpose,
which is trying to make fear and terror on immigrants to the United States, is that terror in your eyes?
Fear and immigrant. Look, if any.
Look at this guy's face, man. This guy cracks me up. And then he's totally trolling Tucker. And Tucker's like, bro, like, and he goes, yeah, okay. I think he's just trying to piss Tucker off. I don't even think he's actually trying to be a journalist right here. I am sent. Wait, what? I am sent? Nana Nana Boo Boo deserves a super. Oh, you're in Australia. Right? I am sent. Man. Sometimes supers come through and I'm like, I saw one earlier too, when Zach was doing it and someone said something and he was like, I think I don't have the full context here. He's like, I want to answer because I do. Like anytime someone gives a super, if it's a question, or like I want to do it justice. I want to, you know, but I am sent. I think sent, you sent the email? No, always be true sent the email. I am sent Nana and Boo Boo. But Nana and Boo Boo deserves a super because it's Nana and Boo Boo, right? Let's see. Let's keep going.
Anyone in ICE or the US government or any government is punishing someone who did nothing wrong in order to inspire fear or influence other people to do or not do something, that is an act of terror. Whenever it happens.
Why do you say when? Give me a specific you live in the United States. You know better than me about.
Well, I don't actually know what you're talking about.
What happened in Minnesota? What happened in other places? Do you call it terrorism, or maybe it's excessive use of force, which is something different than terror?
All right. It is wrong to punish people who did nothing wrong. It's wrong in Gaza. It's wrong in southern Lebanon. It's wrong in Minneapolis. It's wrong everywhere all the time. Okay, so that's all I'm saying. Okay. But using phrases like terror state don't make the truth clearer.
Oh.
They obfuscate the truth. They muddy the truth. They make it harder to understand.
Yeah, like saying like, oh, you're a conspiracy theorist. You're one of them, eh? You believe things that we don't tell you. You believe things that you find out on your own. There's a war on terror. Terror. There's a war on terror. Terrorists? On terrorism? No, just terror. There's a war on terror. We don't like it when kids hang out around a corner of a house and they jump out and go, boo, terror. We are war on it all. No scaring anybody. No terror. Terrorism, man. Terrorists, it's okay. But terror, that's the real enemy. Terror. We shall not allow there to be terror. As Philly goes around terrorizing everybody and sponsoring like all big terrorists. We will be the biggest sponsor of terror. But we came up with the term war on terror, so no one will think we are the terrorers. That's a lot of R's. Sorry.
And what is actually going on. But my perspective is a very American perspective. We're talking about not simply moral schemata here. We're talking about the behavior of governments whose only purpose is to protect their own people and to make their lives better. And what the United States is doing with Iran is not improving the lives of Americans. It's hurting Americans. Therefore, I'm against it. Now,
bro, you guys, bros and gals, I've been listening to a couple different people online, and we should be nervous. Did you guys listen to what's his name? Pierce Morgan had on what's his name? Oh my gosh, why can't I think of his name right now? I'll go to my history real quick. It'll pop up. Pierce Morgan and I'm looking right at his face. What's his name? Tim Dillon. Pierce Morgan and Tim Dillon. So you guys, when oil ceases to flow and it's not being shipped out, right? And so like the 1/3 of the world's oil, in the Middle East, is just staying where it is, right? So new one, it's like it slows down the manufacturing, right? It slows down the shipment and the delivery and everything, the whole system, right? We also get a lot of fertilizers. Like the world needs a lot of other things that come out of the refining and processing of oil that they said what is really about to happen is a worldwide famine and a massive increase in the cost of food. All of it. And that most Americans aren't aware of how bad it's about to get. Gas prices, we're not even in the summer months yet. Y'all. And I never understood. I mean, like, I think like I always just believed they just hike it up because people travel more in the summer. Like the cost of refining oil doesn't actually, it's not like worse. And it's not like they're, it's harder or they're getting less oil. Like why is there like a legitimate reason to raise the cost of gas in the summer? And then it just goes back down again in the fall. It's literally just because they can. And just because they can, more people are traveling more during the summer. What do you know? We're going to make more money. But so we haven't even hit the peak prices. And remember, Trump was like, it could go up $200 a barrel. That's fine because we kept Iran from getting a nuke. Even though they didn't have one. They didn't even have ICBMs to like carry the payload here or anywhere even close to here. They didn't even have a nuclear program. Like, it wasn't even a real thing anyways, just like WMDs in Iraq wasn't a real thing. So it's like, okay. But Trump's like, yeah, but it's okay. Even if it did go to 200 a barrel because like it's totally worth it. Keeping us all safe, Bro, if it's over $100 a barrel right now, and it's like $5 per gallon where I'm at, and it goes to $2, bro, That's going to be like $10 a gallon where I'm at, which means Cali, it's going to be like 18, $19 a gallon. And that's just gas. Okay. What about everything else? Like the food, and then like, if this continues to go on, holy smokes, it's about to get bad. Can you imagine if we're so divided? We're so divided when something like that happens, and people literally won't have money to buy food, to buy gas, and people resort to tribalism, like that movie, like what was that movie? The Civil War movie that came out in like 2023 or 2022, or I don't remember what year. It's a crazy movie. It's like predictive programming. And the president, I think, that gets to look like Vance. He did look like JD Vance. You haven't watched that movie, go watch it. It's like a prequel to like whatever might be coming. But everyone is already so divided and like just at odds and ready and willing to fight with people, attack people, as it is right now. Can you imagine when people literally are starving and can't provide for their kids and food and electricity and bills and gas, and people are going to resort to violence? I mean, I'm not trying to be like Chicken Little, the sky is falling, but I mean, have you guys seen the cartoon? The sky actually did fall. Remember? It did. Not at first, but it did. And even in The Boy Who Cried Wolf, the wolves actually did come eventually too. It's just that no one believed them. Right? So, I don't know. It's sketchy. I think we all need to, we all should be preparing. Like, everyone should be stocking up on at least a few months, if not as much as they can, of like water, canned goods, firewood, alternative means to heat, cook food, dry goods, whether that be like MREs, like meal ready to eats, or like my father-in-law like bought a bunch of stuff and he gave us stuff like rice and beans. And I mean, just be prepared for the potential that things could get worse. They could get a lot worse before they ever get better. So, what seemingly is bad right now, we haven't even really seen the consequences to this war. We saw the only thing we saw was the immediate gas prices increase, and then, yes, American servicemen and women who were put in harm's way and died. But some of these other more medium and long-term effects haven't even touched us yet. It's like this false sense of security, like, oh, it's like, okay, gas prices suck. That sucks, but we can still like pay bills and like buy food. So, I mean, like, no, I don't want to pay $5 a gallon either, guys. And some of you are paying way more than me, but can you imagine when like eggs are like freaking $20, or a gallon of milk is like $15, or you literally can't afford to put food on your table, or like they can't even grow the food. There's just a massive shortage of food because the fertilizers aren't being made and dispersed to the places that need them. That would put us in a very, very scary situation where all these companies that are like, we can just print the food. How about we just make the fake food that we said we can do, and you guys are so hungry, you'll eat it. And it's going to have all of this genetically modified junk in it. And who knows what else it'll do to you, like the jab, mRNA, you know? And starving people who are starving and don't have means probably will be like, they'll eat it. I don't know, man. There's a lot of scary potentials around the corner. Let's see. Let me go to here. Oh, I shouldn't have done that first, actually, because now I'm going to have to reload. Hold on. I got to go back to the here. There. All right. I'm going to play. I got a couple clips that I'm going to play you guys. Nope. There it is.
Obnoxious liberal said he hated America. Charlie Kirk hit him with a single devastating question, which left him completely speechless.
What's your name? None of your business, unfortunately.
Okay, hello, nice to meet you. None of your business.
Thank you, I appreciate it. So, do you love America?
Yes, I do.
I hate America.
Isn't that crazy? You're in America, safe because of the Constitution, to say that you hate America, but you're not willing to leave America. Okay.
Every state in the USA should be an independent country. What do you think of this?
Well, I just first have to ask, since you hate the country, do you plan to leave?
No, I do not.
Oh, you're an idiot.
Your face is an idiot.
Let me tell you something. America is the only country where even those who hate it refuse to leave.
Yeah.
That's how you know you live in a great country.
Yeah.
So let me ask you, none of your business. Who do you plan to vote for?
I plan to vote for Kamala Harris.
Why?
I mean, you answered my question, so I'm done here. Like, there are people waiting.
Can you tell me her greatest accomplishment?
No, I can't.
Because there is none. Because that doesn't exist. It does not exist. I think that's one I already clicked on. Where's the next one? Okay.
Independent FSU news organization. The FSU chapter of the NAACP released a statement saying that this event was hateful, inspiring violence to Black, LGBTQ, and marginalized students on campus. How do you feel about this comment?
Did you follow up and ask them what their evidence was?
You were talking about Martin Luther King Jr. and said that he has a troubled past and that the Civil Rights Act of the 1960s was a, quote, horrible mistake on the part of the U.S. government. There may be actions taken because of that belief that you have.
So different opinions make people feel unsafe at FSU?
They believe that it has a greater movement behind it, yes.
Right. So did you ask them, like, are you a child? Let me be very clear. The world is a really dangerous place where lots of people have different ideas. Just because someone comes and has a voluntary event and has different perspectives should make you feel unsafe. I've done this so many times. Happy to do it again. When ending segregation, good. Going so as far to create a permanent affirmative action, basically diversity, equity, inclusion, Leviathan within the Department of Justice. Do you know of one instance where the NAACP has spoken out against the lack of fathers in Black homes in Tallahassee?
No.
I can't speak on anything.
That's interesting. So the NAACP will make this huge thing saying Charlie Kirk is dangerous and unsafe, and yet they won't go to the Black community. Hey, we need more dads. Newsflash, dads not being around in Black communities is a much bigger threat to the livelihood of Black America than Charlie Kirk coming to Florida State University for 3 hours.
Yeah.
Maybe the NAACP should stop trying to keep on ginning up this mythology of racism in the country and go after some of the core issues of what's been driving this country and Black America towards worse and worse socioeconomic results.
Do you know what kind of, like, what level of an actor Charlie would have to be? Like, for the people that believe he was fake and that he was playing some sort of character and persona, he would probably go down as the best actor, like, ever. Like, better than, name the best actor in your opinion ever. Because he does these live events where he doesn't know who's coming up to the mic and what they're going to say. And he literally is just genuinely, authentically speaking from the heart and his mind and his own thoughts and opinions and feelings, and never gives me the inclination that I'm like watching him play a part, right? That like, this is a role, right? Like he's faking it. Day in, day out, from 2012 to 2025, 320 days a year on the road in front of a camera on a mic. Do you know how hard that would be to not have a moment of a lapse in character, right? A break in character, and like someone catch it on tape and like it not make it out? Like, look at the real Charlie. Like, can you imagine how viral that would have gone? Look at, this is the real Charlie Kirk when nobody's watching. No, no, sorry, no. And even like, I can't verify that he was a bag boy. I don't know. I haven't seen that, but I mean, like, Charlie Kirk's dad was one of many, many architects on the Trump Tower construction. Not the one, not the main one. He was one of many. I mean, that doesn't really make him Trump's best friend, right? And I don't know. We'd have to do some more digging on to whether or not Charlie was actually Trump's like bag man for how many years, from when to when, for how long, every event, every day. So like he had a job at the age of 8 or something like that. I don't know. I just need to find out more about that. But even if that were true, like, okay, so his dad had some proximity to Trump. He assisted and was one of many architects that built the towers. Maybe Trump gave Charlie a job over the summer, helped him connect. But does that really mean he's like tied into like the deepest states of, you know, the different secret societies and like was brought up from within? And I mean, obviously he had connections and knew people, but to go so far as to say like his whole life is fake, and yeah, that's just such a leap for me. I don't know. I just can't get there. I can't ever get there. Sorry, not sorry. All right, let's go to the next one. You guys still haven't guessed why I wear a hat. We might have to kick it down the road if you guys can't get it. It does have something to do with my head. There's only one person not allowed to say anything. There's one person in the chat that already knows, and I'm not going to say who because it'll give away who that person is. You're not allowed to put in a super chat saying what it is because you already know. And that's cheating. And you're not allowed to cheat. We don't cheat here at the Black Line Brief. Okay? Just like Charlie told Andrew, we don't lie. We don't lie and we don't cheat.
If you would mind sharing your testimony.
Oh, wait. Sorry. I messed up. I know what I did. Hold on. I got you. It's been a minute since I did that. Hold on. So sorry. Let me back up. Beep.
I wanted to ask you if you would mind sharing your testimony with us.
I gave my life to the Lord in 5th grade in the suburbs of Chicago, at Christian Heritage Academy. It was presented incredibly well. I knew the stakes. I understood the consequences, that I don't earn salvation. I don't do good things to get to heaven. I fall short of the glory of God every day. I covet, I envy, I have jealousy, and we have a fleshly nature because we are post-garden, that we need Jesus. And I gave my life to the Lord and made Jesus Christ the chairman of the board of my life in 5th grade. And every year as I grow, that means more to me. The more I realize how broken and how sinful I am and how much the world needs Jesus. And the more I study the word and I study the scripture, the more I want to bring it to people. Invite him into your life. Read the word every single day. Know what he believed and know what he said.
Amen.
It's not fake. Sorry. It's not a character. It's not a persona. It's just not. That's the real Charlie Kirk. And I'll always believe that. Because it's easy to believe something that's true and just part of reality, man. That's just a fact. Let's see. All right. Is your head cold? And you need to keep in the heat? No. There's context clues even in this video, like you could just maybe pick up on. If you watch enough of the other videos, you could tell there's something you might know if you see it, let's see. I'm going to make sure I got to all of that. Let me refresh this. We had a pretty good turnout tonight. And man, I hate it when I hit refresh and it takes like forever to. Hold on one second. I got to hit skip on this and then I can come back to you. All right. 130. We got 130 and there's 119. That means enough everybody hit it. There we go. Now I don't have to say it again. I might say it at the very end when I leave. Shiny. It's so shiny. Nope. That's not it. That's not it. Keeps your headphones on. No. Because what about all the other days that I don't wear it? The premiere is about to start. The premiere of what? John. The headphones make sense. No, I wear the headphones all the time without the hat. So how does that? Da, 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 da. Yeah, I didn't shave my head. I told you I'd tell you. I told you I'd be honest. Yeah. Yeah. Because yeah, I don't like it when it starts to grow out. I just don't. It bothers me. And so that's why I was like, you could kind of tell because I shaved my head and my face myself. I don't like go anywhere and do it. I'm going to take this off the screen now. You got it, Dagoto. You are bald. No, I'm not bald. No, I shave my head, but I don't like it when my hair grows out. I don't know. I'm just used to it. But yeah, I didn't have time to shave it this morning. And so what time is it here? It's 9. So I still have to go eat, shave, shower, go to bed, wake up 5 a.m., go to the gym, go to work. So look, I love you guys so much. Yeah, definitely a Marine. Yeah. Yeah. However, when I was in the Marine Corps, I had a no shaving chit. Chit, CH. I had permission to not shave every day. So it was pretty cool. It pissed officers off all the time. They'd come over to me and be like, what's wrong with your face, Marine? What's wrong with this picture? Huh? Why does it look like you got a shadow and it's 6 a.m.? You didn't shave today? And I'd be like, I actually had a laminated no shaving chit in my front breast pocket for that very reason. And I would just be like, I got permission from the doctor to not shave. Because I had issues called pseudofolliculitis barba, which is really bad ingrown hairs. That's why I don't use a straight razor. I use an electric razor. Yeah. Yeah. Lots of information there, huh? Behind the scenes secret info. All right. If you guys haven't done so already, do me a favor, hit the like and the subscribe. I really appreciate it. You guys are the best. God bless you guys. Honestly, thank you guys so much for your love and support. God bless you guys. Have a great night. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.